ghosts, ghouls, ghasts, and spirits. We love them, we find them interesting and entertaining, but that doesn't stop us from being rational, reasonable, and another R word that fits in that sentence. On this channel, we debunk and discuss ghost videos. If you're into that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's get into it. My name is Nick, and this is You Don't Scare Me. In this particular video, we're going to continue to debunk some slapped ham videos, videos that are in his compilations. I like to call this slapped hell because all of September, I'm going to be focusing exclusively on slapped ham, specifically because my brother wants nothing to do with him. And that gives me the opportunity to debunk videos that he probably hasn't seen. So let's take a look at what we've got and then go from there.
A chilling video surfaced on the TikTok account Do You Believe 2 in April 2023 has left viewers on edge.
Okay, we're gonna go this way too. Stay close to me.
In the video, we see a father and son investigating their home's basement after hearing some unusual sounds.
The first thing that really piques my interest in this particular video is that they're claiming that they're hearing sounds coming from downstairs, right? Logic dictates that if they're going down in such a fashion, they wouldn't know what's down there, which means that it's potentially dangerous. And the fact that the father is bringing their child with them, not just that, but letting the child go first, either that's just bad parenting, or this is a setup for a bullshit paranormal video.
Did you warn?
Initially, nothing seems too out of place.
Oh, where did your child go, sir? Is your child perhaps the one that turned off the light? I mean, he was with you at this point in the video. He was right in front of you, see? Right in front of you. And then you step to the left, and then we don't see the child, which means the child stayed by the light switch. So the light turned off due to the child. And if we look a little bit further in the video, we don't see the child at any point after that. And I haven't seen that far, so I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm going to go back to here.
That's when suddenly this happens.
Hold on. Oh, get. Oh, God. Look, no. Look, does it? I gotta go. Look, does it? No. We make a break. There's nothing there. Stay by me. This is a bad idea. Just chill out.
What was it? The lights, I can't see it properly. Oh, I see. It's probably the child who's picked up a rain jacket and is holding it up above his head like this to make it look like a tall entity.
Oh, it's still there. What are we gonna do?
Oh, okay. The child's right there. Well, then it's the mother. Or another sibling. You would not have let your child go down there first had you thought there was actually anything dangerous. That's the core of my argument right now.
Some are calling this a genuine encounter with a shadow person.
Not a shadow person, but a person in shadows. That's a three-dimensional person. There's nothing shadow entity about it. In fact, any person who's standing in low light conditions such as this would appear as a shadow, specifically because there seems to be some sort of light source behind them to accentuate the shadows. Right by the staircase, I can imagine that if this was actually a legitimate situation, that would be pretty terrifying to be in. But the whole setup, letting your kid go first, the fact that I don't know, the light turned off when you were over there and we didn't see the child until later. It all spells out bullshit.
Some paranormal experts believe that shadow people are supernatural beings that are only experienced in fleeting glimpses.
Well, those paranormal enthusiasts would be incorrect. It's not actually a paranormal encounter or a paranormal event in any capacity. What it actually is just a hypnagogic hallucination between the restful and waking state of your being when you're waking up or going to sleep. If something startles you awake and your brain doesn't catch up properly, you end up seeing a shadow person. People who have sleep paralysis, I've experienced it myself. Let me tell you, it's the most terrifying thing you could possibly encounter in your entire life if you've never been in the military. I mean, let's be real. They see horrors that we could never possibly imagine. Now, regardless of that, hypnagogic hallucinations are a hallucination that happens specifically between the state of sleep and wakefulness, where your body hasn't really caught up properly to the fact that you're awake, and then it projects some of these entities into your real world. I remember that when I was sleeping in my old bedroom in my old house, the first time I ever saw the shadow person in my adult life was that I was lying down on my bed and the lights were on in my room, and I opened my eyes slightly and somebody was standing at the doorway, and it was your typical hat man, you know, the large brimmed hat, long trench coat, and they leaned down towards me and stepped towards me and then shushed me. Because I was like, and they went shush, or they went shh, but my noise cancellation is likely going to cut that out. The second time that I experienced this, I was lying in the new bedroom because I kept having nightmares in the previous bedroom, so I figured I needed to switch to the other bedroom that was at the time our storage room. And at that point, I was lying in bed. Oh, by the way, my lights were not on. That's how it made me realize that that it was a hallucination, because I knew I was dreaming, because even though the aspect ratio, like not the aspect ratio, but the view that I was looking at was correct, my lights were on, and then when I broke out of it, my lights were not on, and that's how I knew that I was actually still asleep. But the second time I was lying in my other bed, TV was off. I have a TV in my room because if I get spooked during the night, which happens quite frequently if I have nightmares, I know that there's nothing paranormal actually happening, but it's nice to hear some background noise while I go to sleep. Lying in my bed, totally paralyzed, and at the doorway to my room was this being that was made of static. And it was already terrifying to see something. I was trying to figure out what it was, but it's like blind being blind. When you go blind, even temporarily, I have gone blind before, in just my right eye. It was a strange occurrence. It's like you're looking forward and you're like, you can't really explain why what you're looking at isn't showing up properly. You're like, why can't I read this? And there's this almost TV static type thing that grows in your eye, and then before long you realize you can't see anything out of one of your eye or the other eye. I'm just explaining what happened to me. I was on my laptop reading, and then all of a sudden I couldn't read it, and I was like, what's going on? And then it just grew, and then I couldn't see out of my right eye, and then I had a thumping headache. I was like 16 years old, and I started panicking because I don't want to be blind in one eye. Could that have been a stroke? That never occurred to me. It went away. I could see again, but It was quite terrifying. I wouldn't describe. People always say that being blind is like pitch black. It's not. It's not pitch black. At least not for me. It was like TV static. Like everything was there, but it was like blocked behind this massive, like rolling static. So when I had the other sleep paralysis, the hypnagogic hallucination, there was a static man, like I going blind. So it triggered that trauma response of being terrified of being blind in one eye when I was a kid, and I thought, oh no, it's happening again. And I had that same pounding headache. However, the static started sprinting, like running towards the side of the bed, and then lifted up the most accurate, most clear, crisp, and obvious fire axe. It was so there. And they lifted it up and they brought it down on my head. And I screamed, and at the moment of where the axe would have impacted my head, I broke out of my sleep paralysis. And it was like the lights turned back off. It was not, the lights weren't off, but it was like there was light. But it's like it broke me out of it. My heart was thumping so hard. I was sweating. My head was pounding. And for like 2 or 3 minutes, I was like checking the side of my head to make sure that somebody didn't just bury an axe in it. And then I turned on the TV, watched some videos, and fell back asleep really fast. Every time I think about it, the side of my head starts hurting. It was a really wild experience, and this description has gone on for too long. So I hope you gleaned something from that.
A perplexing video uploaded by arborist Christian Caesar.
No, we can just put that to bed right away. A spring has opened up below the tree. That's it.
Known as Christian Caesar 2021 on TikTok, has set the internet abuzz with speculation. The clip, filmed deep within the dense foliage of the Brazilian jungle, captures an inexplicable sight.
If you want a little bit more information about the tree peeing, so what happens is a spring forms underneath of a tree in particular, and trees love water. They dig their roots down into it, but a lot of times like they soak up so much water and there's like a channel that brings the water into the rest of the tree. When a spring opens up, it creates a pressure system underneath the tree that causes the water to start ejecting from any open hole, or the water will spray through and then create a hole out. There was a video a while ago where somebody had cut a tree branch off and it started spraying water in a similar fashion. It's the same reason. After heavy rainfalls, the underground spring or reservoir of water will have a lot more water, and that water will either sit in the ground and create a swampy marsh kind of condition, or it will find an outlet to leave the underground reservoir. And when trees are growing on top of an underground reservoir, they reach down into that and they start drinking the water from it, and that causes the water to come up and spray out of the tree. There's absolutely nothing paranormal going on here. I mean, it's abnormal, but it's not paranormal in any capacity.
Antonio, a TikTok user known by the handle Raul8595, has recently embarked on a chilling journey to document the eerie occurrences inside of his store in Mexico.
YouTube pays more than a hardware store ever will. And that's the reason why he's making the videos.
For some time now, he's suspected the property might be haunted. The unsettling saga begins as Antonio guides his viewers through the layout of his store, only to encounter inexplicable phenomena at every turn.
Bueno, según. ¿Qué chingo sería, güey? Güey, vete a la verga. Vete a la verga.
Soon, he catches some strange activity on camera.
¿Qué hay? ¿No? ¿No crees? Ay, güey, no, mam.
Incredibly shaky handheld footage, and everything paranormal conveniently happens just outside of his sight, which normally I would very much enjoy. There's two sides to this coin, and both sides are bitterly sharp. On one hand, we have the paranormal thing that's happening just out of the corner of your eye, and you can easily explain it by the person who's standing outside of the camera's purview is the one that's manipulating the objects. The second one is when the camera focuses directly on the thing that it does eventually move, and we have to question ourselves, we have to question the video by saying, like, why were you recording that one particular inane thing for so long? You knew it was going to move. And that's when the viewer themselves is manipulating the object. Not viewer, recorder. In this particular case, there's so much random crap all throughout the video that hiding behind any of these shelves would be trivial. And that's what I think is going on.
No, la verga, yo no me voy a asustar, no me voy a asustar y no me voy a asustar y ya. Chingue su. Puta madre, ¿tú qué chingos traes, güey? ¿Qué chingos lo que quieres, cabrón? Perra madre.
I have to admit, I'm not entirely sure how this one was done. It's most likely string. I mean, the compression on the video is so low that it would be impossible to find anything. But if you notice right here, you can see that the door is closing. And his right hand is by his side. Well done. Certainly more interesting than other ghost videos, just because of that. Normally, that would have given somebody away. Oh, see, your arm is, the shadow of your arm proves that you were the one that closed the door, but we very clearly see he's not the one.
Dejas estar tranquilo un puto día.
More objects begin to move.
Vete a la verga. ¡Ah! Puta madre. Me tiene hasta la verga.
So far, all the objects that have fallen down seem to be within reach. Like he's walking past it, and he uses the opposite hand that's filming. You can't see both hands. Your view is locked to what the recording person wants you to see. Other things can be manipulated with the other hands. I would say do one even better. Attach the GoPro to your forehead or your neck or chest or chin or something, right? And then put one finger in front of the GoPro just for a few brief moments so it makes it look like you're holding a cell phone, and then bring your hand away, and now you have two hands to manipulate the environment. Good idea, huh?
In subsequent videos, Antonio continues to unravel the mystery that shrouds his workplace.
De todos lados empezó.
A peculiar mess greets him upon arrival one day with objects strewn haphazardly across the floor.
Yo no sé qué chingo está pasando, pero yo no sé ni qué pedo, güey.
Va a ir esa cosa hasta
Yo
que
no sé ni
viváis
qué
el
chingados
video.
hacer.
And here we see the culprit. It's his child. It's just a kid in a Zentai suit. Or a morph suit. I don't know how you know about it, but it's literally like a full body, single color bodysuit. Think Pepsi Man or the green screen people. That's the one you should be thinking about. It's just black. So there's our ghost. It's your child in a bodysuit.
¿Qué hacer? Si mandas ahora sí el padre o a ver.
As he investigates, he sees this.
¿Qué hacemos? Oye. ¿Qué? ¿Vas a barrer o qué chingados, fantasma?
This is the other side, where somebody stares at something for too long, recording, and that thing moves. Everybody always has to up the ante. It goes from barely catching a bottle fall to seeing a full body apparition and hearing EVPs, all the way up to then catching something specific in the act. But the timing is off because your camera was positioned directly on the object that otherwise likely wouldn't move. But for some reason you stared at that otherwise inane regular object that's positioned perfectly to be manipulated. Why do you need a broom? Those objects on the ground don't look like something you would logically sweep up. They look like something you would pick up one at a time, right? The broom is positioned there, placed there particularly for the purposes of this paranormal video. I've seen people do things like pull entire shelves down or break their TVs just for the particular ghost video. And it lends this credibility to the videos that the comment section will be like, well, why in the hell would somebody break their valuable TV? With an RPM of $7.14 per 1,000 views, getting 20 million views on a video would equal $142,800. So why do you think they would break their TV? It's because they can buy 142,000 of them with one video. And that's with an RPM of $7.14. That's kind of middle of the pack from what I've come to understand. Some people get lower, as little as $2.06 per 1,000 views. Multiply that by multiple million views, and it doesn't fucking matter. Any amount of money, even 10 cents per 1,000 views, makes it worth it to break your TV.
¿Qué vas a hacer, cabrón? Dime. Vete a la verga. Vete a la verga.
Real quick, the door doesn't open all the way, so the person is likely standing there.
Then more strange events unfold.
¿Qué mandas o qué? Vete a la verga. No, vete a la verga. Ya chingas tu madre, puto fantasma de mierda. Vete a la verga, güey.
The fridge is open before he even looks. So somebody could just stand behind that shelf right there, whip the fridge door open, and then step behind the shelf. All of the things that are happening that are paranormal are insanely easy to do in this particular set. I mean, it's a hardware store. There's so many places to hide. You don't even need string. You just need a quick kid.
Despite his valiant efforts, Antonio finds himself unable to rationalize the inexplicable occurrences that plague his store.
I mean, isn't that just so convenient? I don't know what's going on. Yes, you fucking do.
What initially appeared to be the mischievous antics of a cat soon escalates into a series of unsettling events that defy logical explanation.
Un pinche gato. ¿Quién sabe qué chingo? Vete a la verga, güey. No, vámonos al chorizo.
Fishing line.
Vámonos a la verga.
As Antonio grapples with the unexplained, viewers are left on edge, eagerly awaiting resolution to the haunting mystery.
Look, just put the fishing line around the object, and then go stand in the fucking bathroom. The fishing line is so thin, you don't even have to have the door open. You can close the door, and the little gap between the door and the door frame is enough to have the string run. A lot of the videos that I did in the early times when I opened my fridge, I was in the bathroom. The bathroom is nowhere near the fridge. Like, nowhere near the fridge. The camera positioned when it was looking down towards the fridge, which it still is, that's securing my front door. It's the only point of entrance that needs securing. That's why there's only one security camera in my room, in my apartment. I ran a string, specifically laundry line. It's thicker, but I wanted to have a stronger string, so it's tied to the bottom of the fridge, the little arm that holds in all the sauces in the bottom of the fridge. And then it's run underneath this mat that we use to wash dishes. Apparently it's good for your knees, but my knees always hurt worse when I'm on it. Anyways, runs all the way down below the line of sight from the counter, and then off into the apartment, around the corner into the bathroom. The line was like 7 feet long, 8 feet long. It's not a big apartment. But that's how I open the fridge. So use a fishing line on something that weighs nothing.
Will Antonio uncover the truth behind the spectral disturbances, or will he be forced to confront the unnerving reality that some mysteries defy rational explanation?
No, he's not going to find an answer. He's going to continue to produce the content, upping the ante every time until he burns his whole shop down. 20 million views can pay for a new shop. Especially because it's USD. Don't forget that. That's $7.14 USD times 20 million views. 148,200 USD. It's worth a lot more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Watch one of those 2 videos. Check out our merch store at ydsmstore.ca. It's not just merch that looks like it belongs to the channel. It's also regular merch that might be an interesting design that you can just enjoy wearing in general. Check out our channel membership where you can get access to our Discord. That's going to do it. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.